Phoenix TV here again. I'm here with the boss, Neil Morris, and the delightful Anna. Hi, guys.
Hi, how you doing?
Right, we caught up with the coach. The boss won't let us go without catching up with him as well. So,
Well, if you want me to.
got a few questions that you guys out there have asked me to ask him. So here we go. Neil, a lot of talk on the forums this summer about sponsors and moving the club forward. Obtaining sponsors is getting harder every day. We know that with the recession and everything. How's it gone this summer? Have we retained some? Can you give us a clue how it's going?
Well, to be honest, Jim, we're doing a thing with the press in a few weeks where we're actually going to reveal the sponsors this year. But what I can tell you is that you know there's a group of there's a team back at the office that are working really hard, and you know we've got some of our main sponsors back on board and already signed, and we've got 2 new sponsors on board. And I think that's all down to the marketing, to be honest, and the way they've put packages together for sponsors and made them attractive. As we talked about earlier, you know, gone are the days where somebody wants a small program advert. You know, they actually want evidence that they're going to get a return on their investment. And unless you can put a scientific process together that shows how you do that and there will be a return on investment, they won't do it anymore. And that's what we've done with the ticketing initiatives around the B2C and the business club and the network club on B2B. So it's hard work, but it's going in the right direction, and we're seeing some very positive results.
Well, that's what we need to. I mean, it's just the kind of world it is now. That's the way it has to be. Anna?
Speaking of returns, Neil, there's been a lot of discussion on the forums lately, particularly forums where people are of the opinion that if we get 1,000 fans in it, sort of £16 a ticket, that if we drop the prices to sort of £10, maybe a little bit lower, that we'll be getting 2,000. Do you think it is a pricing issue that's sort of discouraging people from coming to the sport, or is it a case that they just don't know about it?
I think to be honest, Anna, I mean, logically, you know, you would probably think, yeah, logically that would work. You know, half the price, get twice the number of people in, but it doesn't, unfortunately. And we've done a lot of testing in the past. I mean, once I don't know whether you and Tambo remember, but we lowered the price for the cup game, the pre-cup game, to something like a £5, and we only had 650 people come. So it doesn't sort of work like that. And I think cost-wise in Manchester, you have to be very careful. Everything you do nowadays, business plans, processes you put forward, it all has to be signed off with the bank before you can even start a season with a sports team, because there's that many go bust without being rude and getting into it. If I told them that we were going to reduce the price, we wouldn't be able to pay the overheads if the same 1,000 people came. If that happened, we'd go bust. Therefore, it's on their risk strategy, it's far too high and it's in the red. So they wouldn't allow you to run with it anyway. As for price issue, well, you know, I've got to say in Manchester, which is we're all playing the same rates in Manchester, we're all in the same area. I can't talk for other cities, but in Manchester, you know, we're cheaper than Rugby League, we're cheaper than Rugby Union, we're just a little bit cheaper than Speedway. We're still edging our way ahead of the cinema. It's a very competitive market. We're still cheaper than mainline football. I think we're about the same price as Conference League football. I don't think it's a pricing issue. I think you probably said it yourself. I think it's getting out to people. And it's getting them to understand what ice hockey's about, and the fact it's exciting, and the fact that it's different, and the fact that they're going to come and it's a family environment. I think a lot of people still think it's wet and damp and you need your wellies, and there's a load of guys out there just brawling and covered in blood. And you know, I think it's changing people's perception. It's getting out to people, and let's be honest, advertising, PR and marketing is the most expensive thing you'll ever do. And with small clubs like us, it's the most difficult thing to do. So I think, you know, look, we're chipping away at it. We're on the right lines. You know, I can appreciate where people come up with that formula, but in real life, it just doesn't work, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, I think I agree. It's just a case of getting people to bring their friends, I think.
Right, we had the Altair news come out a couple of weeks ago from the council with the newly submitted plans that they had to do. And it looks like we're not going to get a nice shiny new rink, I'm afraid. How do you feel about that? And are there any other plans in the melting pot?
Well, there's still plans that there might be another building over in Manchester on the Etihad own it now, but it's the sport complex where Manchester City are. There are investors looking at that, and there's a scheme there that might take place. And there's also some benefits possibly from what might happen here in Altrincham, in the fact that although they're talking about giving it a facelift and making it fit in with the existing environment when they build around it, in other words, making the building look the same, they've also talked about the possibility of maybe giving us a little bit more space and the side being enlarged slightly, so we've got better facilities, maybe a little bit more VIP facilities, better cafe, better bar, and just make the place a little bit more roomy. That would make the building a lot better. And I think at the end of the day, look, as long as we've still got iSports in Manchester, kids can play. We play at professional level. Let's be honest, we should be grateful for what we've got.
Yes, it's a funny town, Manchester, when it comes to. There's just so much there for everybody. As you touched on earlier, the competitive market. We've got to be there. Right, that's me done. I think Anna's got one to close the programme
Yeah,
with.
just one final. I mean, touching back on sponsorship and club finance and things, is there anything, and obviously getting more people through the door, which is the ultimate aim, is there anything else that the fans can do as such to sort of help the club along and obviously encourage more people to come along?
Well, we said before, Anna, in the public meeting with the shirt launch, the best thing that the fans can do for us in helping us is exactly what a lot of them do anyway, is join the supporters club. It's the only third-party help we get from any outside source. And if you look at every great club, all of them will have the biggest supporters club. Why? Because it's the only income they get other than anything else that's not third party. So for us, join the supporters club, be vocal, be part of what you do, help us fundraise and help us be commercially viable. That's the best thing the fans can do for
It's
us.
as simple as that. Join the supporters club.